Hey crew, it's Ben, and I'm back with the most important question on Reddit. Am I the bunghole? Let's dive in and see what the question is today. And this time, I'm even going to let y'all see the paper. Sorry about that if you watched the last video. Am I the bunghole for feeling hurt that my 28-year-old male girlfriend, 27-year-old female, of 4 years is going on vacation with her family, but I'm not included? I will hold my my comments until the end. I'll start by saying that my girlfriend and I have a good relationship, and we greatly enjoy each other's company. We've been going out for 4.5 years and living together for pretty much the entirety of that. Shout out to my old man in a toxic living situation. We've worked on a lot on our communication with each other and firmly subscribe to the idea that we're two independent people who will always be growing with each other. When we first met, she was making significantly better money than I was and had the ability to take trips with her friends out of the country. I felt a bit jealous over this, but I sat on my hands and reminded myself that it's her money time going into the vacation, so she deserved it, without my bullshit adjacent. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. Over the last few years, this has changed to her due to health reasons, dropping out of her high-paying job into part-time positions that are not nearly the same pedigree of what she was once able to work in. It's put us into a really tough spot, but her parents were willing to pay for some light schooling for myself so we could get ahead. Cost of $1,800, and I'm extremely thankful for this. For context, I didn't just ask for a handout. I tried desperately to get the government to fund my schooling for a year with no success, and after seeing me repeatedly fail, they offered to pay for my courses, which I aced, by the way, first time in my life. I always hated school, but I really got along with my instructors as an adult. I'm now working entry-level wage in my field of choice, making pretty decent money, $27 an hour. We also live in one of the world's most expensive regions, so with my partner downgrading jobs, I'm able to provide us a decent life, but unable to save at the end of the week for anything, be it car repairs, smaller vacations, or a cheap part for my computer. Now, my girlfriend comes from an upper-class family. Their expenses, I don't care about that. I come from a lower middle class at best. Her family has money, they have a beautiful new house, and they drive new cars. Her insurance in her car is paid for by her parents, while I drive a 20-year-old piece of crap with no heat. Canadian winters are fun. Also, a lot of her extracurriculars are paid for by her parents, what is a significant bill every month, but it makes her happy and I enjoy seeing her with a smile on her face, so I do my best not to feel jealous by the support she gets from them. On Christmas or birthdays, I'll get a few hundred in cold hard cash that I appreciate. Not trying to sound like a brat, I honestly never asked them for anything. Coming from a poor family, I felt bad asking my dad for $20 for lunch if we didn't have food in the fridge. The money they've given me, I try to take as a bonus and save it as a rainy day fund for her and I. What unfortunately happens often enough with her health issues. We were able to lower our monthly expenses, but only because they paid a significant down payment for an apartment that she now co-owns with her parents. I am not on the title, pay half the mortgage, property taxes, and pretty much all of our living costs. Think food, light, entertainment, and all of my costs, as well as insurance, gas, and the odd time I get something for me. She's unable to cook without becoming extremely tired, so if I don't cook, we go out to eat because I'm too tired to stand in the kitchen and make a meal for 9 hours after a 9-hour workday. What sucks, because I'm a great cook and I love making food for us. It also gives us lunches for the next day and saves money. I'm just regularly exhausted. I had burnout long ago, but I don't feel like I have the option to let it stop me. I'm pushing for a promotion that should give me the relief I need within the next year, but time will tell. I've been kicked in the nuts enough not to really trust what's not on paper. I feel like I'm really struggling to get by where she doesn't really need to worry about the same things I do. Financially, her parents will always bail her out. One time they randomly just put $5,000 on her credit card because she said it was getting a bit high. That blows my mind. I can't imagine being able to have money so easily. I'm building my credit, but it's a very intentional process. I'm strong enough to shoulder the emotional weight, but I had hoped that since I am now making more money that I'd at least be able to put aside some cash for myself like she could, but I'm unable to do so. I don't need to go on solo vacations, but I like to be able to afford a few $1,000s to get a better car, or just get myself a few $100s part from my PC without having to be concerned. But alas, on to the main issue. We're just now getting to the main issue. We're going to get back to that. Yesterday morning, she has informed me that her mother, father, and younger sister are going to Hawaii, a place we have been planning to go next winter, pending the promotion, and meet up with a good friend of ours over there. She just straight up told me that her parents bought her a ticket and she's going to Hawaii next November, right around the time I wanted to go with her to see our friend. So I'm hoping her taking 2 vacations in a short period will be something she can do. with her work, but I worry about her boss won't be able to provide that much flexibility. And I don't want my plans trashed because of vacation I'm not taking. I also don't think it's mature to go without her in that case. Part of my vision for this is a romantic getaway with her. Anyways, this immediately made me feel left out, jealous, and worried for our finances, as she's technically a contract worker with zero vacation pay and capped at 25 hours a week. This will be the third vacation she has planned in the 4 years we've been together, and the most I've done with her is a weekend road trip up north with her friends, in a small shared house with one bathroom, where they, by poor food handling, food poisoned me 2 nights in a row. So I've not really had any amazing getaway times with her. And I've really done is just grind away doing my best to provide everything I can for her without question and just hope this path leads us to a better life. I know I'm not their family and they honestly owe me nothing. Her old man made a comment over Christmas when we went to see my elderly grandparents because he felt offended we saw them on Christmas Eve. Her parents were sick and showing symptoms of the coof, and my grandparents are old. So he offered out a nice, remember who your real family is? To his girlfriend. What kind of stung for a bit for me to hear. So here I am, watching her schedule a vacation with her family, all expenses paid. They've agreed to pay her half of the mortgage while they go take a warm tropical vacation. And I'm just going to be at home, working away. I wish it didn't bother me, but I can't help but feel like a workhorse with no breaks or savings to show for all my hard work. All I've wanted is to take a vacation with my lady and provide us a nice time to put my feet up, but I just get to watch her do that instead. I can't help but feel a large economic disproportion. I know they owe me nothing, but it sucks to feel left out and get to watch your partner enjoy vacations while I struggle to have more than $100 in my checking by the next pay period. I make ends meet, but it's stressful. My life has always been difficult. I've always been low income, and when I make good money, circumstances has reeled me in. I can't tell you how badly I need a break. So tell me, Earthlings, am I the bunghole for feeling hurt by all of this, or do I just need to swallow my emotions and be happy about where I'm at? All right, let's unpack this. There is a whole lot going on in this today. First off, I'm going to say this, and it's going to hurt feelings. If you ever watch this, whoever the poster happens to be, you, sir, are definitely a bit of the bunghole here. And that is not because of probably what you think, but it is because of your attitude. Your attitude in this whole thing is poor, pitiful me. It is. Now, you probably don't know my story, but some of the people on this channel do. And I can promise you that no matter how bad you had it, I was probably right there with you. I grew up missing meals. I grew up in a single-parent household. My dad was in jail. My first stepfather was a bank robber. I was mentally, physically, and sexually abused. If you list it, I've been there. And so I can promise you that it's your attitude holding you back. It is you deciding that this is your life. Now, in this very first, 2 sentences right here. This very first 2 sentences right here lays out your entire problem from beginning to end. And if you read it backwards, you'll get there. Your dad's toxic living situation, right there, you are letting that affect your future happiness. You are deciding that because it didn't work out with your dad and living in a toxic situation, and you didn't like that toxic situation, that you're not going to live in a toxic situation. So you create a toxic situation. And you can see that right here. Because you haven't worked on your communication. You've worked on how to talk, but you are both working at 2 opposite goals right here. I can promise you by reading the rest of this that this woman is not satisfied in your relationship. She is not, and I will be really, really surprised if come November, which is, by the way, is still 11 months away, or 10 months away because it's the first month. So you have a long time to make a change in this situation. You're bitching about it now with almost a whole year to go. But I don't want to guarantee, because I don't really like to guarantee things, but I can almost guarantee that she's not coming back from this vacation. This is probably going to be right around the time that your lease is up. And I will be real surprised if you are still in that house on the other side of this, or that apartment. What's happening here is you have decided that y'all aren't going to get married, and they're not very happy about that. Neither her parents nor herself are happy about the situation. And that is why they are doing this pettiness, because that is petty. If they have the financial means to take you and they're deciding not to take you, that is being petty. Now, I'm not going to say that it is undeserved pettiness, because if you have been with a woman for 4.5 years and you've been living together for 4.5 years and you've not put a ring on it, you're a little bit toxic. This whole independent and we're going to stay separate and we're going to be different and all, that's dumb. It's dumb. Why are you living your life like that? The entire point of a partnership between people is so that you can function as a unit, so that you can have common goals and that you can work together to achieve those common goals. Now, staying too independent, who will always be growing with each other, sounds really fucking nice, but it is not. It's not. Women especially want a commitment, but you know what? Men do too. And so what's happening here is you both know that this is not a good situation. There's probably been a significant amount of sexual discontent happening. There's probably been a significant amount of bickering and fighting about the bills. The fact that she's not making the money that she was, and now you're starting to, and that fact that you're making plans and she doesn't get to go if your promotion doesn't come through and all of that. That's a whole big deal. And that's her issue with the love of money, which is the root of all evil. And she's being a bunghole for that. This whole pettiness is a bit of a bunghole. But this all boils down to the fact that you're not committing to this woman. It doesn't matter that y'all been together 4.5 years. It doesn't now. Me and my wife dated for 4 years. Like, we were together for 2. Were engaged for 2, and then we got married. But that's because I have a rule, and I'm not opposed to the length of time. What I'm saying is that the two independent will be growing with each other is just letting you know that there's no commitment there. But my rule when we were dating was that we weren't going, I was not going to propose until we had been to every holiday together as a family, and then we weren't going to get married until after we had been to every holiday again as a family, so that we could make sure that we were aligned. And so it took 4 years, but we did get married after the 4 years. Like, we dated for a long time to make sure we were compatible, and then we were engaged for a long time to make sure we were compatible. But that was working towards the goal of a commitment of a life. I had no intention ever of getting a divorce. Like, it's not on my scope. And what's probably happening here is that mentality that I'm not going to get divorced, so I'm not going to get married. And that's foolishness. There is no better achievement in life than finding someone that you can actually commit your life to, that you can actually commit your service to for the rest of your life, because that's what marriage is. Marriage is about serving your partner. It's not about you anymore. It's about them, period. And yes, you get benefits off of that, but it's about helping them to achieve their goals, and they help you to achieve your goals. And together, you achieve goals, because together, you're stronger. If you're independent, you can break apart really damn easy, and you're about to find that out. Like, I will be really surprised if come November, if you have not at least proposed to this woman, she is not coming back from this vacation. Like, it's just not going to happen. She's setting up to move on. She's setting up to go home. Is what's going to happen. They're going to be like, all right, the lease is up. You can find your own arrangements. Y'all aren't married. There's no commitment. Dive in and go with it. That's what's going to happen. Hopefully, I brought a little bit of enlightenment and not too much confusion. Like, this whole situation right here is entirely about not committing. It is. And so you really need to work on your commitment. That's the communication you need to be talking about. Y'all have different goals for this relationship, and you just don't realize it. Like, she knows y'all do. That's why she's making these petty plans. This ain't got nothing to do with you. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me, and I am praying for you every single day. Until next time, I love you. You're perfect, whole, and complete, just the way that you are. And this has been Pittstake. Peace.